What is up, guys? 10 Vivman here bringing another battle. This is an OU match I had with a person off the Smogon Wi-Fi battle finder, which is, I've been trying it out a little bit recently just because I have not been able to find battles at all in my pages, and that sucks. The inactivity in those groups has really been pissing me off, but it's whatever. I'm actually using a weather team in this battle. I rarely use weather as is, so I'm using this rain team that I have. Of course, every rain team has Polytoad, obviously. There are two Pokemon that can really take advantage of it, covering their only big weakness, Terraform and Scizor. Tornadus is a Specs one with Hurricane, and of course Tentacruel with Rain Dish and Black Sludge, that sort of thing. And he's got a very interesting team here. He's got a bunch of lower tier stuff. Porygon 2, Registeel, Bouffalon, Feraligatr, Cofagrigus. So I don't know what to expect, but I'll bring in this battle right now. Let's go. And I'm going to lead off, of course, with Polytoad. And he doesn't have any other weather inducers, so I feel free to, bring in my Polytoad straight out first thing in the match. Get my rain up, and we're good to go. But, of course, most Porygon 2s usually do carry Trace, so he's going to Trace my Drizzle, too, which is more or less useless because, I already have the rain up. So, but I know for a fact that Porygon 2 is going to give me problems, and it's probably an Eviolite user. So I'm going to just Toxic that thing right away so it doesn't provide me too much difficulty. But here he sets up Trick Room, and I should have seen that coming as soon as I saw the team. Except for Alligator, everything there is slow. So I should have figured, oh, Trick Room, but I didn't because I'm not used to playing that. I really do not like Trick Room. But here I protected the Scout out what move he'd go into when he uses Thunderbolt. So I got to switch out here, not wanting to take a Thunderbolt. He could be he could be more of an offensive Porygon too, which is why I switched into my Theraform here. And of course, most Theraforms are especially defensive, so I take that Thunderbolt extremely well. And he's pretty much forced to switch at this point because even if he does carry Ice Beam or Tri-Attack, neither of those moves are going to be doing much to my Theraform. Porygon 2 does have a pretty solid base 105 special attack, so it can, do some damage with its moves. It's just not a Ferroform especially defensive, so the effort's pretty useless. But here since I know he's going to switch, I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks right here as he goes into his Registeel. And Registeels usually carry Stealth Rock, and they usually carry T-Wave and some other moves, and I'm expecting him to carry Thunder Wave throughout this match. And a lot of my Pokemon do not like Thunder Wave, so I don't want to switch out. I try going to Leech Seed, and I miss, which sucks, and he sets up a Stealth Rocks as I miss. Trick Room wears off, which means that I'll be moving slower again. But here he reveals, he has Seismic Toss. Most Registeels also carry Seismic Toss. Does a consistent 100 damage as I hit him with the Iron Barbs, and then I try to, Leech Seed him again, and this time it does hit, which is nice. So I have that Registeel all seated up, and, gets a nice recovery. I'll probably be recovering not as much as he will Seismic Toss, but I don't think he wants to stay in just because it's a kind of pointless effort because you're just really wearing down your own Pokemon. So I guess he will switch out here. I just don't know when into what, but I switch out here too. So it's pretty much a double switch. I believe he goes into his Bouffalon here. Yes, he does. And I switch into my Tentacruel. Maybe taking another Seismic Toss or something. Maybe I can get my Toxic Spike set up. Maybe I can Rapid Spin away his hazards. But I didn't expect the Bouffalon to come in. I'm expecting him to maybe be a Sap Sipper Bouffalon. But as I get hit by Stealth Rock damage, I just recover all that HP back with my Rain Dish and a Black Sludge. So I had several options I could have done here. I could have set up Toxic Spikes. I could have Rapid Spinned. But I went for the Scald here, trying to burn Bouffalon because Bouffalon is such a huge threat. I try to burn him, do not get the burn, and he reveals me his Wild Charge. So that's that alerts me saying he's probably a reckless one. So that sucks. I mean, I'm a max physically defensive Tentacruel. I do take that hit with 13 HP like a boss, and he takes a ton of recoil from that just because Tentacruel, my Tentacruel has max HP. But thanks to my recovery, I'm actually able to switch out again without taking any Stealth Rock damage. So here I switch out, and I go back into Ferroform, hoping to take a Wild Charge again. But he intelligently switches out as well here as I get a little ahead of myself, but that's okay. He switches out, and I believe he goes back into his Registeel, expecting my Ferroform to come in, which is a great play. And the only problem with that play is his Registeel at the same time can't really do much to me as I can do to him. So it's kind of a little bit of an awkward situation here. But two pretty bulky Steel types going at it. But here he goes for he actually reveals to me his protect, just to scout out what I'm gonna do. Try to leech seed him again. Why not? You know, because leech seed's very useful, especially on crippling walls and stuff like Registeel. So as we continue to get our leftovers going, I believe he switches out here, not wanting to deal with those shenanigans again. He goes into his Cofagrigus, and which I'm like, no problem. I'm just gonna, switch out. I mean, it was a double switch. I was hoping he'd switch back out into his what was it? I can't really remember, but I was, expecting. I was not expecting Cofagrigus to switch in. So that stinks. I brought up Scizor for no reason. I have to switch out again. Go into my Politoed. Really not knowing what the kind of Cofagrigus this is. I'm anticipating like a Will-O-Wisp or something, and I don't care if Politoed gets burned. It's a special attacker. So, but here, boom, Cofagrigus has Trick Room. So that stinks, and I'm in a very awkward situation because I do not fare well against Trick Room typically. But this is where I screwed up. I protected here, expecting, I didn't know what kind of moves he had, and he shows Nasty Plot, and I'm like, shoot, use a setup sweeper, shoot. And I actually have the Encore, which really stinks because I could have, locked him into Nasty Plot, but I didn't do it. And that kind of really, screws me a little bit because he unleashes a +2 energy ball, and I'm guessing he's a more, fully invested in the special attack, but that does not kill me. Leaves me with 60 HP, which is great. I Encore him now, maybe expecting him to set up again, but I lock him into Energy Ball, which is nice, which means I can get a free switch out to my Ferrothorn again, knowing he can take those Energy Balls, no problem. But yes, I do take that opportunity to switch in, knowing I can survive another Stealth Rock switch in. Go into my Ferrothorn and ready to eat that Energy Ball, no problem. Does use it, he wants to get Politoed out of the way, because Politoed apparently is a big, threat to him, so it does absolutely nothing to my Ferrothorn since I ×4 resist it. And I believe he of course, he makes a pretty good play, switches out here. I believe he goes into his Feraligatr. Yes, he does. He goes into Feraligatr, which is a kind of weird switch-in. Didn't really understand why he could have tried. I mean, he probably carries Superpower, but I know I can live at least one Superpower. I leave Seed on the switch-in, hoping to, grab whatever, grab HP off whatever comes in. Happens to be Feraligatr. And thanks to the leftovers and Leech Seed, I will put myself back at full health, which is awesome. And I wasn't sure what he was going to do. He could have Dragon Dance, and, I figure he probably has Superpower. But I know I can take one, like I've said previously. And, because it's not Stab, he's not set up in any way. Even though, I have barely any physical defense invested into this, I take that Superpower relatively, not well, but I take it well enough. And he gets the, attack and defense drops from it, and I smack him Iron Barb's damage, and now I'm just going to finish him off with a, Stab Power Whip. And that probably would not have killed, most likely, if he didn't use Superpower. I'm not positive since I have no attack investment, though Power Whip is still a pretty strong attack. Not sure if it, I'm really not sure if Power Whip would have killed, but he took the risk, and it unfortunately didn't really pay off for him. So, here he goes into his Reuniclus, and this thing gives me some problems. But I switch out, and I go into Scizor, maybe anticipating him to probably, I'm hoping maybe I can survive a Focus Blast, or hoping for a miss or something, or he could have set up Trick Room again. But he does go for the Focus Blast here, and I'm figuring this is I'm figuring it's a Life Orb Magic Guard variant. And unfortunately, he gets a crit, and that really sucks. I really don't know if that mattered or not. I don't have any special defensive investment, so I'm not sure if it mattered. But it would have mattered if he was a more bulky variant, but I doubt he was bulky. But here I go into my Tornadus, and I just smack his face around him, a Specs Hurricane. I mean, if you guys don't use Tornadus in rain, you're missing out. Oh my god, Tornadus just has so much raw power with that Spec Stab Hurricane. Brings him down all the way to the red. I even get the Confusion Hacks, which is amazing. But he does not hit himself in Confusion, which really sucks. He's able to set up another Trick Room, and that just, that really bugged me. But that's what I get for relying on Confusion. Of course, he moves first the next turn. He doesn't hit himself again, which means I have a dead Tornadus, because he hits me with that Stab Psyshock, which hits my weaker defense, which means I'm not going to live that hit at all. So down goes my Tornadus, which really stinks. And what am I going to do, But here I go into my Ferrothorn, knowing in the Trick Room that I'm faster, because Ferrothorn is slower than Reuniclus if it gets base 30 to 20, and taking advantage of his own Trick Room, I use Power Whip and finish him off, which is great. That's a huge threat gone. And after I get, leftovers, I believe he switches back into, what is it? That's right, he goes into Cofagrigus. And this is kind of a stall war right here, even though it's, not majorly. He's just trying to hopefully sweep the rest of my team with his Cofagrigus. So, but, I take this opportunity just to, Leech Seed him again, get some more recovery. He sets up a nasty plot here. And, with what I can tell, his only damaging moves are Shadow Ball and Energy Ball, which really, isn't that great. If he had HP Fighting, which most Cofagrigus just do carry the hidden power of Fighting, but he does not have it, which is a rather disappointing because, Energy Ball, it's good, but HP Fighting would have been so much better, especially in this situation for him. But, it's too bad. So I'm just going to leave Ferrothorn in here. I know I can take a Shadow Ball, just power up to see how much it does. It does a decent chunk. And, of course, he activates the Mummy on me. I don't really care at all just because Ferrothorn, Cofagrigus is a special attacker. I really don't need Iron Barb to be hitting it. So, as he sets up to +4 now, which, I'm a little concerned, but I'm not, at the same time, I'm not. Just because Ferrothorn can take at least one hit, because I resist both Shadow Ball and Energy Ball, no problem. So, as, the after turn effects keep going on between the leftovers and the Leech Seed, I wish I had a better way to speed up this stuff, but that's okay. But the Trick Room wears off, and he does go for his Stab Shadow Ball here. He could have set up another Trick Room, which probably would have been a better play overall. But as you can see, that did not do a lot, but he gets the special defense drop, and that really, really sucks. So, I hit him again with Power Whip, and it brings him down all the way to the red, which is great, but the problem is it does not put him into a range where Leech Seed will finish him off, so I have to make a really tough decision on whether to sack Ferrothorn or sack something else. Nothing's going to appreciate taking a Shadow Ball, and I know Ferrothorn's not going to most likely die if it takes another Shadow Ball. So, got to switch out here. I really do, just because Ferrothorn is a pretty good check to most of his other Pokemon. Going to Tentacruel is Death Fodder. Probably the best play I could have made there. And, like I said before, it survives the Stealth Rock switch in as he just takes me out of a Shadow Ball, which is fine. And, so Tentacruel dies, and we're getting closer to the end of the match. We're getting there. I'm already at 12 minutes, but, oh well. But I go into Starmie here, and Starmie's a, great Pokemon to use in Rain, having access to Stab Hydro Pump and Thunder. And he makes a very questionable play. He switches out Cofagrigus here, which I really didn't agree with. He should have left that in to die, but no matter. And he brings in Registeel here. I go for that Thunder, because I know Thunder will kill it from that range. Just hoping to smack anything, hopefully with Paralysis. And it does a decent chunk to Registeel. Not too much, but not too little either. So, because it's not Stab, it's Life Orb boost, but it's not Stab. So now I go for my Stab Rain boosted Hydro Pump, and that Registeel, even though it's probably specially defensive, is not going to take that well at all. Brings him down all the way to the red, which is awesome. And here he shows me a status move. It's Toxic, which is more or less useless on Starmie, just because I have Natural Cure, so I can switch out at any time, get rid of that Toxic with no problem. But I'm trying to, finish that Registeel off right here and now. And of course, I have a Brain Fart, and I forget he has Protect. So that stinks. I could have switched out there and maybe had to put myself in a better situation. But I didn't, and I could have lifted my Starmie with better health, but again, I didn't. So, he's back into the yellow, which is kind of, scaring me a little bit, because I don't know, I don't want Starmie to continually weaken itself down, and I know he still has Porygon 2 left, and that's going to pose a huge threat to me, later on. So, bringing back Politoed, expecting him to, I don't know really, I mainly brought in Politoed as Death Fodder, but he tries to go for the Double Protect, which was a very questionable play, but, here, he leftovers, and knowing that I'm faster than Registeel, I go for the Encore here, which was a awesome play on my part. I knew that Skull would most likely not kill. He's forced to Protect, which is awesome, which means I can get some more leftovers recovery, and he does too, but at the same time, he can't damage me at all, which is amazing. So, he's in a very tight situation right here. And here he withdraws, intelligently, and he goes, I believe, into his Porygon 2. And thanks to, the Stealth Rock damage, I'm pretty confident that I can 2 a KO him with Scald. And, in accordance with the poison as well. which is amazing. So I'm pretty confident right now, you know, and all that. So he takes the Scald, and I get a crit. I get a crit. I get a crit. I get a crit, which is amazing. So the crit probably didn't matter much at all, just because, you know, like I said, I'm pretty much figuring I can 2 a KO it thanks to the Scald and the poisoning. But here he brings in Registeel, hoping that I'm below 100 HP, and I'm not. I'm at 108 HP, which means his Seismic Toss will not kill me. I Scald him, try to get the burn, do not get it, which is unfortunate. Goes for the Seismic Toss, and like I said before, I know it's not going to kill me. Left with 8 HP like a boss. Get some more leftovers recovery, and I think he himself gets more leftovers recovery. So he could have tried to stall a little bit here, trying to, protect, hopefully to get some more HP recovery. But he decides, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to let Registeel die. And down it goes. And he's pretty much, he told me GG at this point. Because his other 2 Pokemon, they're not going to take a Scald. So he brings in his Bouffalant, which was, really weak thanks to my Tentacruel and, all that Wild Charge recoil. So I'm faster, go for the Scald, take out that Bouffalant, right in the throw, down it goes, get a useless crit. Useless crit is useless, and that is awesome. And of course, Politoed's going to get some recovery. And of course, his last Pokemon is Cofagrigus. But you know what? Cofagrigus is at extremely low HP. It is actually going to die right from the Stealth Rock. So, folks, that will be the game. Pretty long game, I must say. That's what I get for using weather. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, and sub. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. So we'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.